Tribes with the strangest traditions ever. Each cultural heritage has its own unique features, worthy of appreciation and preservation. Tribes around the world are no different. They pass down special customs, rituals, and lifestyles through generations. That's video, we. Whether it's bizarre ceremonies or distinct ways of life, all are deeply connected to culture and history. A treasure trove of meaningful values awaits our discovery. Monkey Buffet Festival. There are many unique festivals worldwide, but few host grand feasts not for humans but exclusively for monkeys. That's the Monkey Buffet Festival in Thailand, an event so peculiar it has become a tradition in Lopburi City, nicknamed the Monkey Kingdom. Lopburi is home to thousands of monkeys. Instead of trying to expel or control them, the locals choose to harmonize with nature, even organizing a lavish feast to treat these special guests. The Monkey Buffet Festival started in 1989, and since then, residents prepare a large meal annually for the monkeys to enjoy freely. In 2022, over 100 banquet tables were set with 2,000 kilograms of food, all monkey favorites like fruits, vegetables, and other enticing treats. As soon as the food is served, thousands of monkeys rush in, scrambling to eat and jump around, creating an incredibly lively scene. Interestingly, over time, the monkeys seem to understand this event is for them. In the early years, only about 300 participated, but later the number grew to over 4,000. While the festival brings joy to tourists, with the increasing monkey population, many worry about its long-term impacts. Is this a cultural trait to preserve or a future challenge? Only time will tell. La Tomatina Festival. Every year, on the last Wednesday of August, a peaceful small town in Spain suddenly turns into a red battlefield, where tens of thousands gather from everywhere to join one of the most famous and peculiar international festivals, La Tomatina. It's not solemn parades or religious ceremonies. La Tomatina is simply a fun battle where people freely throw tomatoes at each other as much as they want. Within an hour, tons of ripe tomatoes are crushed, streets overflow with red, and no participant escapes being drenched in red from head to toe. As said the festival. And from then on, they held it every year. Over time, it grew in scale, attracting more people until authorities had to recognize it as a national cultural event. After the tomato fight, the streets are clean, and participants continue celebrating with music, dancing, and feasting all afternoon. A festival that not only made the town of Buñol famous but also became a fun and unique symbol of Spain. Dear viewers, before we move to the next discovery, pay attention to the mysterious theme in today's video. In the arid lands of Ethiopia, there's a tribe with an extremely strange custom. While most cultures value slim figures, here, a large body is a lifelong symbol of honor and glory. Annually, young men in the tribe embark on a 6-month journey to gain weight. They leave daily life, seclude themselves in isolation, and consume only one type of food. That's milk and fresh blood brought by the tribe. Day by day, they drink this concoction hoping to become as large as possible. When the challenge ends, they appear before the tribe in a special ceremony. The man with the most massive body is honored as a hero. Though they receive no material rewards, this honor stays with them for life. Children in the tribe admire the winners and dream of achieving such glory one day. It's a strange custom, a different view of beauty and honor. How many cultures worldwide revere large physiques to this extent? Share your thoughts in the comments below about this special aspect. Land Fo Mai Festival. Have you heard of it? In England, they hold a very peculiar race called the Land Fo Mai Festival.
This is a historical game over 600 years old, attracting many participants.
Even though everyone knows it can cause injuries to players at any time. The rules are very simple. A large cheese wheel is rolled down from the top of the hill, and participants must run very fast to chase after it. It sounds easy, but in reality,
The cheese wheel can roll at speeds up to 100 kilometers per hour due to the hill slope.
players are forced to rush after it at high speed with no way to stop if they lose balance. Therefore, this festival is not only fun but also very dangerous. Participants often slip, tumble, and even break bones.
Despite this, hundreds of people risk danger to compete every year.
Ignoring repeated warnings from local police about the risks, a seemingly harmless cheese wheel can create a dramatic and intense race. For those who love adventure,
This might be an experience worth trying. But for those who prefer safety, perhaps it's best to just watch from the sidelines.
the mysterious beauty of heavy neck rings. In some Asian and African cultures, wearing neck rings is not just a custom but also a symbol of beauty and status.
If you've ever seen images of women with unusually long neck rings,
Many might wonder how they achieved such an appearance. In reality, the metal rings don't elongate the neck but put pressure on the collarbone and ribcage, causing this part to lower, giving the illusion of a longer neck.
this custom is particularly popular among the Karen communities in Myanmar and Thailand.
For them, a long neck is a sign of grace and elegance.
Girls start wearing rings from a young age, and over time, the number of rings increases, becoming a source of pride for them.
Although this custom may seem strange to many, for these tribes, it is a traditional beauty that has been passed down for generations. Each ring is not just jewelry but also a symbol of cultural identity, an indispensable part of their lives. When mentioning food-throwing festivals, many people immediately think of the tomato battle, La Tomatina, in Spain. But in the town of Ivry, Italy, there is an equally interesting festival, the Orange Battle. This festival recreates a historical uprising, with participants divided into two sides.
One side is on horse-drawn carts, representing feudal soldiers, while the other is the common people on the ground.
Both sides throw oranges at each other, creating a very lively battle. On the surface, it seems like a chaotic orange fight, but the festival has its own rules to ensure participant safety. Not only is it a time for fun, but it's also how the locals express pride in their history, turning a once tragic event into a vibrant and colorful celebration.
Among the countless festivals in the world, only a few are closely tied to the daily lives of indigenous people.
And in track, there is a festival where for many young men, participation is not just an option but almost a necessity if they want to find a partner, the Girwool Festival. It may sound strange, but it is essentially a male beauty contest. In this festival, young men put on bright makeup, wear elaborate traditional costumes, dance, and display their charm in front of the women. Some participate hoping to find a relationship, while others hope to find their future wife. In many other cultures, men are expected to show strength and talent to impress women, but at Girwool, the most important thing is beauty. This is a very unique cultural aspect, going against common views, making this festival one of the most distinctive events in Africa.
For generations, hair has been an important part of beauty and identity in many cultures around the world.
In many places, people take great care of their hair, especially on important occasions when they wear their finest attire. However, if you have the chance to visit a special tribe in Africa, the Himba tribe, you'll see that the women here have a very different way of beautifying themselves, unlike anywhere else. The most noticeable characteristic of Himba women is their unique reddish-brown hair, which is glossy and has a long, thick texture. This comes from a special paste they use daily. This mixture is made from butterfat mixed with red ochre, then applied to the hair and skin, creating a unique color that is both striking and deeply cultural. Some believe this paste is not just for beauty but also protects the hair from the harsh African sun. However, when asking the Himba women themselves, their answer is simple. They like it because it makes their hair more beautiful and attractive. Through many generations, this custom has been passed down, becoming a source of pride and a symbol of beauty for the women here. Toe rings. When mentioning wedding rings, most people immediately think of a sparkling ring worn on the finger. However, in some regions of India, wedding rings are not only worn on the hand but also in a rather special place, the toe. For many people, wearing rings on toes may sound quite unfamiliar, even confusing. But in Indian culture, this is an important custom, especially in traditional weddings.
During the wedding ceremony, the groom not only gives the wedding ring to the bride with his hands but also carefully puts 2 more rings on her toes. This action carries profound meaning, expressing a tight bond and a vow to choose to be together for life.
Additionally, Indian culture also preserves a romantic legend about toe rings. It's said that a woman intentionally left her toe ring behind, as a signal for her lover to find, thereby leading them back to each other. Not only women, some Tamil men, an ethnic group in southern India, also have the custom of wearing toe rings.
However, their rings usually have simple designs,
mainly to provide comfort, suitable for the habit of wearing sandals or even walking barefoot. To outsiders, this might be a different custom,
but for local people, it's an indispensable part of their cultural and spiritual beauty.
Every country has strange and interesting customs that reflect their cultural characteristics. In Denmark, there's a special tradition for unmarried people. If someone turns 25 and is still single, they must be prepared to face a surprise, being thrown cinnamon.
It sounds strange, but this is a custom that has existed for a very long time in this Nordic country.
People believe that sprinkling cinnamon on unmarried individuals is a playful reminder that they have reached marriageable age but haven't found their soulmate yet.
However, if by age 30 their single status remains unchanged, the punishment becomes even stronger.
Instead of cinnamon, this time they'll be thrown pepper.
This custom originates from a story related to Danish merchants in the old days. Because they often had to travel far for trade, they didn't have much time to find partners.
So gradually people called them by the humorous names, peppermen or pepperwomen. Although it sounds a bit teasing, today this custom carries more joyful meaning than a serious reminder. In fact, Danish people consider this a joke, a way for friends and family to create a fun atmosphere during gatherings. After all, the story of marrying early or late depends on fate, and there's nothing wrong with waiting for true love. So, whether being thrown cinnamon or pepper, it's just a memorable moment in life. Foot binding custom in China. Surely everyone here knows that foot binding was once one of the most severe beauty standards in Chinese history. Appearing during the Song dynasty around the 10th century, this custom originated from the story of a concubine wearing special shoes that made her feet look small like crescent moons. Gradually, small feet became symbols of beauty and status, especially among the nobility.
Girls typically had their feet bound from ages 4 to 6 when bones were still soft, causing foot deformation and leaving them only about 7 to 10 centimeters long.
Exquisite small lotus shoes were created to enhance this beauty.
For many families, having small feet was a necessary condition for daughters to marry well despite lifelong pain. However, the consequences of foot binding were extremely severe. Women had limited mobility, easily lost balance in old age, and often became disabled.
This custom persisted for many centuries until the Republic of China issued a ban in 1912.
Nevertheless, in some rural areas, the practice continued for several more decades before completely disappearing.
Today,
foot lining remains only as a historical memory.
and it's also evidence of strict beauty standards in the past. Lotus shoes are still preserved as traces of a painful but mysterious period in Chinese culture.
When mentioning sports, people often think of football, basketball, or athletics.
But in Finland, there's a very special competition called the Wife Carrying Championship. Men must carry their partners on their backs and run through a challenging course. Few know that the origin of this competition started from a not-so-beautiful story.
In the past, a notorious robber in Finland ordered his subordinates to go to other villages to kidnap women to be wives.
After many centuries,
Local people transformed this story into a fun game with a sporting spirit instead of violence. Today, this competition is organized with proper rules. The course is 253.5 meters long with slippery sand surfaces, creating no easy challenge.
contestants must carry their wives or female partners on their backs through difficult obstacles. To ensure fairness, the organizers strictly regulate the age and weight of the women being carried. The most interesting point is the prize for the winner. The amount of beer is equivalent to the weight of the woman they carried.
This excites many people to participate, not only to challenge themselves,
but also to enjoy joyful moments with family and friends.
although it may seem strange. The Wife Carrying Championship clearly demonstrates team spirit and bonding.
It reminds us that
In marriage, sometimes the husband must be ready to carry his wife through the toughest times.
a competition that is both fun and deeply symbolic. In many countries, the night before the wedding is often a sweet time, when the bride and groom mentally prepare to enter married life. But in Germany, they have a rather unusual custom called Polterabend. This is a ceremony where the more items are smashed, the more luck the couple will have. On this day, family, friends, and even neighbors gather in front of the bride's house, bringing porcelain dishes, bricks, tiles, pottery, and some even bring toilets. All these fragile items are smashed to pieces in front of the house, creating a lively scene. The sound of breaking items rings out like a blessing, as according to German belief, the shards bring luck, helping the couple have a strong marriage. But the most important part is not the destruction but the cleanup. After everything is shattered, the bride and groom clean up together with the help of friends and family. This is considered their first test, as marriage involves not only joy but also responsibility and cooperation between the couple. Sometimes local authorities help by providing trash bins to make cleanup easier. Polterabend is not just a traditional ritual but also a way for people to come closer together. A custom that sounds strange but carries deep meanings.
Don't rush to think this is a festival of throwing radishes at each other. Actually, the Oaxaca Radish Festival is a unique tradition that has existed for over 125 years in Mexico,
where ordinary radishes are transformed into creative artworks. Initially, this festival was simply a way for vendors to attract customers during Christmas. They meticulously carve radishes into beautiful shapes and display them in front of their stalls. No one expected that over time, this tradition would grow into a major event, attracting thousands to admire. Today,
the festival not only features exquisite radish sculptures,
but also countless artistic performances, music, and entertainment activities. Who would have thought that a simple vegetable like a radish could become the center of such a vibrant festival? The custom of wearing lip plates. In some African tribes, particularly the Mursi and Surma in Ethiopia, there is an ancient custom that many might find very strange, which is women wearing a large plate on their lip. From around age 15, girls begin the lip stretching process, starting with a small plate, then gradually increasing the size over time. According to tribal beliefs, a larger lip signifies beauty, maturity, and a woman's status. Those with larger lips also receive a higher dowry when marrying. Although this custom is controversial and even the Ethiopian government seeks to restrict it,
For these tribes, it is a source of pride and an irreplaceable symbol of ethnic tradition. They see it as an indispensable part of life, a beauty passed down through generations.
The Egg Festival in Bosnia. Quite different from Spain's noisy tomato fight in Bosnia. People welcome spring in a gentler but meaningful way. This is the Egg Festival. On the first day of spring, in sub-zero cold, thousands of Bosnians gather by the Bosna River to prepare for the most special breakfast of the year.
Over 1,500 eggs are cracked, mixed with traditional spices,
uniting the long-standing community in the aroma of fried eggs and laughter. But eggs here are not just food. For Bosnians, eggs symbolize life and rebirth. Starting the season with this meal is their way of welcoming the bright things ahead.
After the meal, the festival continues with live music, barbecues, and a unique custom. Bathing in the cold Bosnia River is like a purification ritual to welcome a new life.
After a journey exploring the world's most unique and peculiar customs, we realize that although people from different lands, with different lifestyles and beliefs, they all share common ground,
which is community bonding, faith and traditions, along with love for family and tribe.
Each custom, no matter how strange
It may seem to us, is a unique feature. Though they may appear unfamiliar, they all conceal a story and profound meaning, closely tied to the history and culture of each nation.
Through this, we learn the lesson of
Respecting and understanding cultural differences.
because it is these seemingly strange things that create the rich diversity of the world.
If you enjoy discovery journeys like this, subscribe to Mystery_Core channel to not miss the next fascinating stories.
Please leave a comment about which custom impressed you the most. Thank you for accompanying us. See you in the upcoming videos.